We're right here live as the eclipse is taking place. We don't know if they can see it. We don't know how to reverse that camera. Uh, yeah, but it's taking place right now. The eclipse. People's wondering what's going on. Hey, what's up, Sean? People was wondering what's going on with the eclipse and things, and what's gonna happen after this and everything. This right here tape needs no introduction. People wondering why haven't been going live. We can go live anytime. I mean, we took a break, man. Let the heat die down a little bit. So but we could draw. I got tapes I already lined up where I could go live. So many tapes, right? This was one of them right here that I supposed to been did. But we're doing it right during the time of the eclipse, so I guess that's perfect timing. And we're giving the time to get in here. This don't need no introduction. All right, for you Bible guys, what we got for you? Hey, stay tuned, you Bible guys, because there are two scriptures that we got to go over that ties into this. The moon finna charge up. The moon charging up off of this pass. Cause the moon has no like. Hey, shout out Mark Cooper, man. It went for my brother Mark Cooper, man. Shout out my brother Altoon. Hey, AMO, you know what I'm saying? Ancient Mystic Order, bring light energy. There are two things that's about to take place now. One, because Bodie called me, he was in Paris somewhere, London, Paris. You know what I'm saying? He's over in Paris. We talked about an hour, two. Uh, but he brought up, he said, "Man, what do you think?" Because Bodie's still, he really into the Christianity, and that's it's his thing or whatever. So I can talk to people on all the different levels. Um, and don't sleep on Bodie, because that don't mean that he don't know the shit that we know too. You know what I'm saying? He just chose that particular path. But what I would to say is that he said, "Hey, what do you think about Matthew's 24:14?" And if you go read Matthew's chapter 24:14, it goes on to say that this gospel will be preached to the whole nations, all nations and kindreds and all tongues. And he said, "What do you think about that scripture?" And then automatic when he said that, something that the master teacher did one day, one of the tapes that he put out, and I remember what the person asked him. They came to the master teacher and they said, "Are you Jesus?" And he said, "No, I'm not." Then they said, "Who are you then?" He said, "Turn your Bible to Revelation chapter 14, verse 6. And it reads about this angel coming who had an everlasting gospel to preach. And he preached it to all nations and kindreds and tongues. Malachi is the only one I know that spoke different languages. So he could communicate with different nations, right? He spoke Arabic, Hebrew, Latin. We could get into it, right? For you people that know. Then it goes on now another part, because I go around, and another reason made me do this tape is because two Christian women came to my house today and knocked on the door, and then I ran it with them for about like 45 minutes, and they pretty much they came to teach me, they thought. But then when I sit there on the porch with them, started talking to them, about 45 minutes, they got their head cracked and they walked off shaking my hand saying, "Yeah, man, already got it down." You know what I'm saying? They said, "We go to the next house. You got it down already." Cause they was like, "What you think gonna happen after this eclipse?" Like I broke it down, so that's why we're doing this tape. And this ties in Revelation chapter 14, verse 6. This angel that had this everlasting gospel. Like I say, when you ask people, the average Christian or the average person that knows a little bit about the Bible or anything, and ask them, "What is that gospel?" Most people are gonna tell you, "Oh, that gospel is that Jesus died on the cross for our sin," and that they gonna hit you with the Romans chapter 9, Romans 10:9, right? "He that believe it shall not perish but have it." No, they gonna get you with that one. That's the gospel, right? But that's only one part of that truth, and that's really not technically what the gospel is. The gospel. Now we can get into you niggas, the ghost spell, right? Where we go into a ghost impregnating a woman, but we talking about another. I'm giving you another perspective. We could go into that perspective. I'm giving you another perspective on what the gospel is. All right, the gospel is that truth, right? It's it's the everlasting truth, right? Now, what was that gospel that this angel came to preach? This gospel was and this angel had angels under him that fought and preached, and they preached the same doctrine, some of them. So you might, anybody that was preaching this doctrine, this truth, could fall under the angels of Michael, right? Melchizedek. Listen to what I'm telling you. Preaching this gospel. The gospel is the truth. One of those truths is that Christopher Columbus didn't discover America. We found that out. They ran that game on us, that lie on us. For Mystery Babylon ran that lie for a long time. Christopher Columbus discovered America. George Washington was the first president. We already debunked that there was 8 presidents before George Washington. One of them name was John Hanson right before him, and he was a Nubian. But they told us George Washington was the first president. So that was a lie. But the truth is that, oh yeah, it's 8 presidents before George Washington. So that's part of that gospel. All the truth that's being told is the gospel, the real truth. That's the real gospel, not just Jesus died on the cross and and that's all we need to know. No, the gospel is all the truth that's being unfolded in this year 2024 and prior to, going all the way back to the time when we first started figuring out about the lies of this mystery Babylon. Right? That's, if you go into, like I say, Revelation chapter 14 verse 6, you'll see that this angel comes having this gospel, and he spread this gospel to all the nations. So now all the nations know that mystery Babylon is a fraud, that they all based that mystery Babylon, which concludes the Roman Catholic Church, the Vatican, and London and DC, the military arm. So everybody know that this, and the Roman Empire, the British Empire, everybody know that this is a fraud. Right, so that's mystery Babylon. So if you read on down, right in 14, right after that angel comes spreading that truth, right after all this truth go out, where all you niggas know y'all Native Americans now, y'all know that y'all all went brought on a slave ship from Africa. Y'all know that you was Skokie. You know that you Blackfoot, all that. It's the same thing, really. You know that you all these different names. You know that you are the original ancient Egyptians. You know that a lot of this shit come from ancient Kemet. You know, and all this truth, right? That's part of the gospel. Now, if you read on down, like I said, Revelation 14, it goes into saying right after that angel, another angel came. And that angel said that mystery Babylon has fallen. Why has it fallen? Because this gospel, this truth, of all this truth that I told you, including what and it's way other more truth that's including it, that are based on the lies that they told. Because mystery Babylon is built on lies. And like Bible said, when false things come, when truth come, false things will go. So this falsehood, this mystery Babylon is now falling. Why? Because the gospel has went out now. Every nation knows America's a fraud. Every nation knows that their dollar is not backed by gold, really. Now, every nation know that truth, that gospel has went out. The gospel is like gossip. You know what? They got another word called gossip. When people gossip about you, sometimes that shit be true. When people telling gossip, right? So the gossip or the gossip spell, we can get into that, like I said, the gospel, which is that truth that's going out. And like I say, America dollar is not backed by gold. So now what's happening? China and Russia and all these other guys that got together created their own currency called a brick. This is the fall of the dollar, the fall of America, like Elijah Muhammad said in his book. This is the fall of mystery Babylon. That's where he got it from, really. Elijah got it from Revelations. Elijah took the fall of Babylon, the fall of America from the Revelation, the book of Revelations, or the Injil is what we call it, right? So now all this truth has went out around the world to all nations that this U.S. corpse and this religious arm, the Vatican, and its monetary arm, the laws of London, is now fraud, and now it's time for them to fall. This is the part where they fall. Now, what happens after this eclipse? I had a dream one day when I went to go see Anu that he said that, I said, man, why y'all won't go get Malachi, Michael out? Why you won't get him out? And he said that, it's rules of interference, right? But he said this: if they don't let him out after today, sometime after today, going forward, there's gonna be an earthquake. And then right after that, if they don't let him out, it's gonna be a meteorite shower. And then right after that, it's gonna be a floods. Then they're gonna keep going. They're gonna keep going, just like in the time of when Moses and now you niggas who, oh yeah, man, it wasn't no Moses. All right, nigga, Thutmose. So you niggas, all right, Thutmose, nigga, yeah. You know what I'm saying? All right. So they just talking in allegorical stories, making a sense of it right now. During that time, they caused plagues to hit. They caused plagues to hit to let these people go, and several different plagues got released. But this this eclipse is the opening of the sixth seal. Also, if you go read the Holy Tablets, which is free in the link in the descriptions, go read in the beginning. I think it's like page 40 something, where you can read about the seven thunders. Right, Master Teacher revealed the seven thunders, and this right here is the sixth. I think this eclipse makes the sixth seal. I think. Right, and they tell you what happened. He goes into what happens right after this eclipse. Right now, keep in mind, a lot of shit is being generated and stimulated by the church. They staging a lot of shit. And I got another tape that I'm gonna do probably today. It's gonna be called the Diddy smoke screen. Cause while they telling you about Diddy, and they raiding this shit and this and that, and he on the plane. They let him get on the plane. He getting a haircut from a custom made haircut from a $2,000 barber. I mean, what they do that at? What do the motherfucking killer? Well, it wasn't the killer clowns because the killer clowns de facto. That's another thing. The killer clowns have de facto into the Homeland Security. The killer clowns. They're not the killer clowns no more. Well, they still killer clowns, but they're not the feds no more. They call Homeland Security now. And so Homeland Security raiding your spot, and they looking for incriminating evidence, but at the same time they let you fly out of the country. Come on, man. Stop running this smoke screen, man. We're gonna get into that though. I got a tape on that. Meanwhile they hitting the fucking bridge and knocking bridges down all over the country. Telling you that about Diddy. Fuck what Diddy got. We already know Diddy's dirty. We already know Diddy is a extorter. He been extorting people in the industry because he got tapes of them hitting them and opening their can of the back, or they opening this can up from the back. Either or is incriminating. What up, Sarah? Either or is incriminating. But what I'm telling you is, this is the fall of Mystery Babylon. The last seal is 2030, so we only got like 6 minutes on the clock. And we've been rolling like a mug. We got 1,400 tapes out to try to help you get to the point where you needed to be. A lot of motherfuckers didn't listen. They said, Young, we don't like the way he talk. He stutter, this and that. Cool. But the niggas that listen, I bet they ain't back in to angelical beings again. I bet they know the whole, they got the game pretty much almost laid out. With the anarchy shit, the ascension shit, the alchemical classes that we put out, all the religious shit we put out to clear all that up. And we got a couple more shits, origin tape, like we got to do the origin of Christmas, the origin of Easter. I suppose they had dropped that like last week, but that's going back to the winter solstice and the springtime, and it's really dealing with Dogon teachings. Christianity is Dogon religion. That's what it is. It's a Dogon traditions. The Dogon started Christianity. The ancient Egyptians started Christianity. The story of a woman being born of, a child being born of immaculate. That's all ancient Kemet teachings. Our study of the son of God, traveling with all that. That's the ancient Kemetic teachings. Islam is based on the moon. Moon teachings, moon timing, moon this. Yeah. And we could get into it. But what's happening after this eclipse? The fall of the dollar, the fall of Mystery Babylon, right? All the seismic activities, the moving of plates, the eruption of volcanoes, this type of shit is getting ready to happen if they don't leave. If these people, because you got to keep in mind, this is extraterrestrial involvement. This ain't just your government and deep state. There are extraterrestrials here, reptilians. The reptilians have rightful claim to the planet. Now there's one group who promoting who's not from here. Well, they from here originally, but de facto into another star system called the Dragonian star system, right? And they call the Dragonians, right? But then there's another group of reptilians that's originally from here, and they are benevolent. And these Dragonians are painting them out to be the bad guys, the good reptilians to be the bad guys. And so everybody think all reptilians are bad guys because of these Dragonians and Halai and his gang. And you keep in mind, you niggas got Halai in you. See, this shit is deeper than what you want to get into. You niggas got Halai in you. Enlil married Halai's daughter. Murdoch married Halai's daughter. Let's get into it. Y'all niggas want to get right down into it. So you niggas got Halai. Baba tried to tell you niggas, but y'all didn't want to hear him. He tried to say everybody got a little devil in them. You need to, everybody got to do their own exorcism. He should say that. Niggas didn't listen. Or at least people that are supposed to listen heard them. Yeah, the reptilians were here. Yeah, the reptilians were here first. The nomos, those who claim they know the most. They didn't become the nomos till they went to Cyrus. Yeah, so but what's happening? This you remember doing, I don't know if y'all watch Avatar, but you remember when the eclipse happened, certain tribes got certain power and certain tribes lost their power. Okay, keep in mind the Fire Nation has been controlling the planet. How do you know that? Because guns, tanks, nuclear weapons, it's all Fire Nation. Bombs, any kind of style weapon that's dealing with fire and gunpowder and these different weapons of mass destruction. So the Fire Nation has been ruling the world, just like in Avatar. They try to wipe out all the airbenders, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, all of them. I'm talking about in the sense of the beings who would be coming to bring certain information from the outer realms. And so what's happening now is the water nation and the air nation. There's only a few airbenders left, but the water nation is rising now. Why? Because the moon is dealing with the water. And the moon is charging up right now. It's getting charged from the sun just by passing by close like that. And the moon controls the water. And there's water under all these plates. There's water underground. And that water is out, and all the water is connected as one water. It's not, you can take some water in your hand and scoop it up, and it's gonna go through the crack of your hands to get back out to the ground and go back to connect with the rest of the water. All the water is connected. Keep that in mind. Underground, the ocean, the rivers all connect. The lakes mostly from springs underground. So all the water is connected, and the water is controlling the moon. Also, like I say, the body have a certain amount of water in it, and that water is controlled by the moon, especially with the women, because I just said somebody mentioned feminine up in there. So the women have a high tide and a low tide. We'll say it like that. During their high tide, they call that the time of the month. That time of the month. That's a high tide, and it's based on the moon. Go study the ocean pressures and the high tide and low tide dealing with the oceans. Those who live close to the ocean know. Yeah, nomos. The mermaids is one species of the nomos. Those who claim to know the most. Right? Yeah, so the lunatic energy, the lunar energy. The moon is being turned into a sun. All you got to do is turn the switch on. The moon is like a satellite or a ship, pretty much. That's what it is. It's pretty much a living quarters, a ship. The moon is hollowed out. The stuff you see on the outside is charged particles They call sand and other things. Sand is what they use to make glass. Keep that in mind. Yeah, you can control the low and high tides if you had control of the moon, and the moon is can be controlled. All right, so which I probably don't know, you newcomers, all you old heads and niggas that been reading the holy tablets might know a little something about this. There was some big head niggas called the Danakas, and they were really risky and hybrids. And these beings, when they came here one time on Nubaru, they chose to stay here. And a lot of them went to the center of the earth. And when they got to the center of the earth, they built a supercomputer called Mech, right? Which is where Bill Gates get Macintosh from, right? And they connected this computer to where it could control the weather device. It can control satellites. It got camera systems where it can look onto the surface of the earth. It can scan the earth's crust about between 40 and 300 miles. It can look off into space. They got like a Hubble telescope type of thing where it can look off into space, like 40 something 400 something light years, that type of thing. And it also could control the moon. They can move the moon and adjust the moon off this computer system. And parts of the computer system have been taken over de facto by these other beings called the Derus, who got big elephant trunk noses. They live on the ground. They like 7 foot, get 400 pounds. But I might have got too spaced out for new niggas. They be like, what the fuck is he? What is he saying? Hey, but let me go back to what I'm saying though. After this right here, you're gonna see more extraterrestrial sightings. They're gonna be more visible, right? At this time because of the charge of the moon being charging. And people might say, oh, what the fuck? Cause like the moon's also dealing like a brake pad. Okay, the moon was to keep us in this dimension, this third dimension. It was part of the project to keep us in this third dimension. But now that charge is happening, what's going to happen is we're going to speed up like a hot brake pad. It's going to be like a hot brake pad. So the planet's beginning to speed up right now. This spring, if you plant shit, it's going to grow bigger and faster. Watch what I tell you. Your plants and all that going to grow bigger and faster. Now, you notice today, for the last couple of weeks, they ain't been doing no chemtrails. They want to get this. They want to get this this eclipse. You might have seen less chemtrails since this eclipse was coming up. And right now you don't see no goddamn clouds all of a sudden, but you just see this. If you look up and get your 3 pair of glasses, if you don't got no special type of glasses, you can see the eclipse taking place right now. And like I say, that moon is charging up, so the planet gonna speed up. It's gonna give an extra charge because everything grow at night. Keep in mind the plants grow at night in the dark. But by that moon having an extra charge and extra of that sunlight, it's gonna cause the plants to grow more rapidly and more quicker without fertilizer. Because the moon is dealing with fertility, it's dealing with fertilizer. Fertility is the same thing. I don't want to twist niggas' cap too hard. Fertilizer and fertility is all connected. That's what I'm trying to tell you. And so the moon actually plays a part in growing the food, because niggas was all sold out on the sun. Oh, the sun do send photosynthesis and all that, right? It plays this part, but also the moon plays this part in the growth and the pull on things, the magnetic pull to keep it going up, to keep it going to, like if you look at all the plants, they growing up. The sun plays a part in that, but not only the sun, the moon plays a part in that too, because the moon is creating a magnetic pull as well, dealing with the water, because the plants are made of water too. We made of water. The moon is also excess in our growth. That's why we grow at night. Your hair grow at night. If you take a casket, put it on your arm, hair grow under that arm because it's the darkness. Hair grow in darkness. There are plants that grow in the dark with no sunlight. If you go into these deep caves, they looking down in the deep cave and they saying, damn, what the fuck is this growing, this plant growing in the deep cave in the dark, right? So it's certain type of plants that can absorb their sunlight from water or other sources. But what I'm telling you is, after this eclipse, you know what I'm saying, this is the fall of Babylon. So don't be shocked to see bridges get knocked down. This is part of it. Because them bridges got certain people names on them that were demons that lynched and killed people. Some of them bridges are named after demons. Like not just like demons that's mentioned of in the 72 Songs of Solomon. I'm talking about like people in history who were killers. Like what's that dude name? I can name a couple of them. I can name a couple of them. What's that general name that was killing all our people? They got a bridge named after him. I think it's one of the ones that Martin Luther King marched across. They hit him upside the head with a goddamn brick. The Ku Klux Klan hit him upside the head with a brick. And because he said that, oh yeah, we come to praise Jesus. He say, oh yeah, well we don't got the same Jesus. You damn sure right, because y'all Jesus is a white guy with scranky hair. Y'all Jesus is Cleophas, or your Jesus is Caesar Borgia. That's their Jesus, right? Ours is Yeshua. You know what I'm saying? The one who lived to be 120. You know what I'm saying? And had children, and had a wife, and all that, and brothers. And keep in mind, Judas was Jesus' brother. Mark, I think it's Mark chapter 6, verse 3. Judas was Jesus' little brother that turned the man to the police. Or at least tried to. So be your own fucking people that turn you into the police. We're gonna get into it though. Excuse me, we're gonna get into it on the another tape I'm gonna do called the COINTELPRO operations. We're gonna go into more detail on what's happening and how they use all different types of things against the master teacher. Now, keep in mind, what I want you to do is after this eclipse, I want you to watch these tactics that's being used by certain people, like the discredit, especially trying to discredit me when I'm out teaching you your last name tapes, all the anarchy shit. I mean, all the shit we put out, you can see that we putting out straight the gospel. We preaching the gospel, the truth, the everlasting truth. We know goddamn well Christopher Columbus didn't discover America by now. And we know that John Hanson wasn't a white guy. You know what I'm saying? At this point. Some of y'all, you know what I'm saying? And we know that the Egyptians, and like I say, some nigga was trying to come out to us. We the one told y'all that the word Egyptian didn't apply to us, that it means burnt face. It was actually like a slang for the kids in ancient Tamaray, is one of the names, to make fun of these Hyksos people. So we already did that. Yeah, so they pay attention to the motherfuckers that come out trying to discredit the young elder. Why they got to discredit me? Because they don't want you to know that you black. Same thing they did to Noble Jew Ali, because he came out with the black, Negro, and color thing. Same thing they did to the master teacher, because he came out with the black, Negro, and color thing. Same thing they did to Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, when he changed his name to Malik El Shabazz. If you go to that more shit, boom, let's get them. Because they the motherfuckers, these killer clowns are the motherfuckers that know about that shit. Why they always after us when we go mention the word more or wear a fez? Because they rocking the fez. They rocking our crowns and they killer clowns. And they know about the goddamn mounds now. I'm telling you. They got all the fucking artifacts, all the records. They the dude Dart Hart Perry, he said the killer clowns library, it'll make you fucking fall on the ground. How much information they got on us. Like files and files. He said they had a book. One dude said when they was interviewing him and trying to get him to turn into an informant against the Moral Science Temple, they gave him a book so goddamn thick. They had every fucking body, anybody that ever mentioned the word more, they had everything down in their bottom. From what color they shit is and what they eat for breakfast, where they go every day, all that shit. Anybody that ever mentioned the word more in this fucking book, they had a thick ass book. That's how hard these motherfuckers watching us, bro. Well, now they ain't. It's Homeland Security now and AI, because like I say, the killer clowns de facto into Homeland Security. The same niggas that raided Diddy, but they let them get out the country. Now what they do that at? What they do that at? Unless he in bed with them niggas and they gave him a heads up, or unless this is a smoke screen while they running some other program in the background telling us about Diddy. We already know about Diddy. Diddy should have went down. He should have went down with that shit, that shooting in the club with Sean. You know what I'm saying? We already know. You ain't got to tell us about Diddy. We know everything about that. We know he sent Urshan to the hospital when he was 14. and they was up in there doing some can opening. We know all that. So we don't want to hear nothing about. Tell us about that boat that hit the bridge, man. Run that information to us. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, yeah, smoke screen, all wag the dog. Wag dog, man. They wagging the dog. We don't, if you ain't arrest him and put him in, and we ain't see him going to jail and getting put into a cell, I don't want to hear none of that shit you talking about raiding his house. And we got, yeah, you raided his house and got all them tapes. Why? Because some of the motherfuckers that was on that tape is government officials. And if they get seen, them tapes get out. If them tapes get out, then it could be a threat to national security. So that's why Homeland Security is raiding Diddy. Because he got fucking George Bush in there getting his top waxed or something. I'm telling you, man. He got, because he was in bed with these guys. He got TD Jakes with a, with something up in his behind or something on tape. If that was to get out, if TD Jakes getting something up in his behind, that's the end of his whole congregation. And he part of the goddamn American League. Hey, look, he part of that league. So, like I say, if you want to know what the hell is gonna go down right now after this eclipse, read Revelation chapter 14. Read for you Bible guys. For you guys that ain't Bible guys, you already know what time it is. This is the sixth seal being opened. Right now, we're in the midst of the sixth seal being opened. Now, if you want to know what's gonna happen in the sixth thunder, go read the holy tablets, which is in the links in the description for free. And the right in the beginning, like on page 40 something, and read what's happened with these seven thunders. The last thunder is in 2030. Right now, we 6 minutes out. And like I say, Baba got the first 30 minutes to rock the mic. Mike L got the first 30 minutes to rock the mic. Now it's time for Mikael's angels to stand up and help him and put out this gospel, spread this gospel, this truth, this everlasting truth. What is that truth? Like I say, it's a long list of shit that they lied about, and they got to be cleared up with the truth. And that's then Mystery Babylon's fall. That's actually happening right now. Actually, it's so much people. So we got a certain amount of people now aware and awoke. We got 144,000 aware and awoke on the situation that's going on the Blue Rock. What is that situation? We're being invaded by disagreeable angelical beings, what you call might call extraterrestrials, other names for them, who are here trying to use us and feed off of us and keep us in a certain state of existence, because without us, they won't be able to go forward, or they won't be able to thrive. So it's time for these reptilians, these disagreeable ones, and the beings that's working with them to relinquish us back our power. And we don't want to be a food source for them no more. It's like this, and I'm gonna end it on this, because I gotta get ready to go pick up somebody. I'm gonna end it up on this. If a chicken can talk and talk your language, and they said, hey man, before you wrang his neck and made a fucking fried chicken out of him, or chicken Popeye sandwich out of him, if he could talk and he would say, hey man, why you eating me? I got family, you know what I'm saying? I want to live. Would you still eat him? If a cow that you make your hamburgers out of could speak your language, speak English, and tell you that, hey man, I'm a cow, man, I don't want to die, I got family, man, I'm sad, this and that. If it could tell you that, would you still eat it? So, and my point is, when you can speak these extraterrestrials language, and that's not just some Arabic or some language you can speak verbally, it's the awareness. It's an awareness of who they are and who you are and what you are and why you here. So your awareness, your level of awareness allows you to be able to speak to these extraterrestrials. Not to mention, they got, some of them got languages like Nuwapu that the master teacher put out, helps you communicate with these beings, because it's one the beings, our families, that's our language that they speak, the Anunnakis. And the Natharus got another form, another dialect of that same language, which is more complex than a spoken language. It's actually signs and symbols. Go look, they call hieroglyphics, or hieroglyphics, a higher form of graph, or a higher form of pictures. So one bird can mean 10 different things. It just depends on how they word the sentence. Just like over in America, one word can mean different things. It just depends on how you word in the sentence, like week and week. Which one of them I'm talking about? Am I talking about a physical week, or am I talking about the weeks of the days of the week? Right? So it's like that. No, I know we're gonna come back, man. We got to get up out of here. This right here had to be short and snappy. But the eclipse is going on right now, man. So you know, this is the sign. This is the time. This is the time to be prepared for the switch. This is the time to watch the devil fall. Watch the devil kingdom fall now. Watch it crumble to pieces like never before, faster than you ever seen. This, a lot of the shit they ain't gonna even put on the news of how it fall. This is the fall of this is that angel coming saying the fall of mystery Babylon. This is that part. Because that gospel then went out now. That truth then went out. We know these motherfuckers fraud now at this point. We know they ran a fraud. They lied to us, told us we were black Negroes of color. That was a lie. Like I said, they told us George Washington was the first. That was a lie. They told us, I can go, it's a long list of lies. It's to build up mystery Babylon. It's a long list of lies. But now the truth, everybody know the truth, at least enough percentage of y'all, in order to get the extraterrestrials to step in now and do something about it at this point. They needed a certain amount of us to say, man, we need you to get these motherfuckers off our back. And this is what's happening to us mentally. And that, boom, now they can step in and with our acceptance. Because, like, you know, like when you watch those vampire movies, you got to let them come in. They can't just come in on their own free will. You got to say, you can come in. Just like parasites, you got to invite them into your body by what you eat. They can't just really come in without you accepting them in your life. Like they say, you got to accept Jesus Christ in your life as your Lord and Savior. How do you accept Jesus? You got to accept the truth. Jesus is the truth. You know what I'm saying? And niggas can spin this. All the niggas talking about, yeah, spin it how you want, nigga. The truth is that, like I said, it's a whole bunch of truths. And that truth is the gospel that's being preached to all the nations, to know that mystery Babylon is a fraud by now. And like I said, the dollar is now crumbling. Now, what this gonna mean for us? It's gonna mean that pacifier that you had in your goddamn mouth the whole time, because we've been robbed and spoiled. That's what the book say. We've been robbed and spoiled as a people. They got us where we can go to McDonald's. We don't got to go kill a turkey or nothing no more to eat, or grow our own food to eat no more. So they put up, so that pacifier that you had in your goddamn mouth as a people is getting ready to be snatched out. And you're gonna cry a little bit. Some of y'all, you might cry, hey, give me back my pacifier. Then some babies, that's tough babies, the Natharu babies, they gonna fucking adjust. They always do. When they put crack on us, we adjust. When they put liquor on us, we adjust. I'm telling you, bro, whatever they do to us, that's why they say, oh, these the people. That's why Hitler said, these the people. He ran fucking experiments on us, not the fucking people they show you on the camera and shit. The motherfuckers they don't show you. Go get a book called The Real German Holocaust. Go get that. He ran experiments on Nubians. He ran experiments on a group of people called the Bantu people who have been in Germany thousands of years before Hitler and them even got over there. So don't let me talk too much because they ain't fuck up my algorithm. But I'm about to get up out of here. Peace. Wadu.